Hello and welcome to part 3 of my purple dino charge cosplay construction. So I am working on the sleeves and the collar today. I tried to kind of draw the scales on the sleeves as you saw at the beginning. That didn't end up working out, so I kind of just drew a couple and then stopped. Um I might just not have any scales on there. I might draw them on later, but I'm actually sewing on the collar right now, which I did from that silver spandex fabric that we used in the previous video. I literally just used scrap and like kind of folded it in there and then just started sewing it. Got to use all that scrap fabric, which actually worked out. The collar looked not that bad. Same thing with the sleeves. I went ahead and did scrap fabric, and as you can see, the cosplay has gotten really far. That chest piece took forever. I mean, forever, because it was two mirrored pieces, and I poked my fingers a lot. So as of right now, I'm just doing the sleeves, pretty much just putting the rims on each side like I did with the collar as well, just using scrap fabric, and I do that on both sides, just folding it in, and I'm gonna go ahead and sew as well as cut any extra fabric that I don't need in the inside. I'm aligning it with the stitching at the very top of the dress, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut out, like I said, any of the extra fabric on the inside. As you can see on the outside, it looks actually pretty dang nice. I really like it. Now I'm aligning the sleeve that I cut. I actually cut out this sleeve and made it from an actual long sleeve shirt that I have. That was the best template. And now I'm going to go ahead and zigzag stitch on there. Sewing this type of fabric can be a little tricky as well. And I used like this weird string that was like shiny that definitely was not for a sewing machine. Now I know that there's different types of different types of threads for sewing machines, so be aware that there is different types of threads for sewing machines, but I wanted it to match my shimmery sparkliness that I had going on there with the spandex. So now I'm actually attaching the actual rim, like I'm actually sewing it now. This part was a little complicated, but it worked. I actually really like how it came out. I think it looks super pro on the outside, but it's like one of those cosplays where they say, you know, it looks good from afar until you get up close and start looking at like the actual stitching on the inside, and you're like, yeah, no. But I really liked how it came out for the first time ever for me to be dealing with this many layers. My sewing machine is a lightweight sewing machine, and it was able to sew through polyester fabric with an elastic on top with a pleather on top. Like my little sewing machine is a trooper, y'all. This thing just keeps on going. I'm so proud of my sewing machine, and for it to just go through all these layers, like I folded so much stuff over. This had like 3 layers on top, and it was able to get through all of the things I've put it through so far. So let's give a round of applause to my sewing machine. Round of applause. But yeah, a round of applause to my sewing machine for just doing an awesome job. And these sleeves honestly came out super awesome for the first time. I did have a bit of trouble just, putting them together, but as you can see, they look awesome. Like, look at that. That's gorgeous. Now that I have that in, I'm going to go ahead and attach the actual sleeve on the inside. So I think I still need to cut the fabric first. Yeah, so there's still fabric in there, but I think I just ended up sewing it because I'm going to have to cut that fabric, extra fabric as well. So I'm just aligning it, shoulder to shoulder and seeing how it goes. I did end up with one sleeve that was longer than the other, but hey, this is the first time I've worked on a full-blown sewing project for cosplay, so I'm pretty dang proud of myself, I do gotta say. So I am just sewing on the outside right next to the stitching that I did for the rim of the sleeve. So I'm pretty much just adding it like as if it's like a border stitching. I don't know what the exact technical term is for that, but it came out super nice in the end. And like I said, even though one sleeve was slightly larger, like longer than the other, I think it came out super awesome. Like, yeah, super duper awesome. All right, so after stitching this part was probably like the most complicated part. Like I had to take it off because there was like the part that had stitching in the middle, and I kind of had to tuck it and make sure that the armpit was gonna be closed. So like I had to kind of re-maneuver everything, and that's what I'm doing right now. So now I'm going back in, trying it again, to close it up. And yeah, it was, I had to flip it all sorts of ways. It was fun though. I enjoyed it, and this is how it came out. Ignore my PJ bottoms. I'm just kind of, chilling like a villain. But yeah, this is how it came out. I absolutely love how that top came out. But we're also going to be working on the right sleeve. Yes, on the right sleeve. This is the left one. Woohoo, it's so cute. So now to do the right sleeve, we have already cut it out of the template. Now we're sewing it down just like we did with the left sleeve. Do a little zigzag stitch all the way down until it's completely sealed. And now that it is completely sealed, we need to get it ready one more time so it's a nice thick seal. We're gonna go down one more, especially because, like I said, I did not choose the right thread for this, so going through it multiple times was best. Alright, so now that we got the sleeve good, we're gonna go ahead and actually, sew it onto the side. But first I need to add my rim. So this one was a little bit trickier than the other because this I had to sew on top of pleather, sew on top of elastic, and sew on top of polyester with another layer of elastic. So my sewing machine was a trooper once again, and as you can see, this is done throughout multiple days because this takes forever and is a super draining process. I don't even know how many hours I've spent on this cosplay, but I absolutely am proud of myself, but I wish I could do better. Oh, progress. Just gotta practice. So I'm doing the sleeve. As you can see, I pretty much just used scrap fabric and then said, all right, this is where the cutoff line is. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add that sleeve side onto the sewing machine. I'm gonna go ahead and slip it into the sewing machine so I can go ahead and sew that in. I did have to also do with weird angles because a sewing machine is faced with just like the left side open instead of the right side, so I was trying my very best. I had to pretty much slip in the open sleeve into the sewing machine and then go ahead and stitch because you don't want to accidentally stitch the sleeve shut. So I just went ahead and sewed that all the way. This one did take me a little bit longer just because, like I said, I did have to sew on top of so many layers, and I did have some trouble connecting it in some areas where it wouldn't cut off because I still wanted to have that design. I needed the pleather showing, I still needed the silver showing, and I didn't want it to overlap, so it got a little complicated, but it worked out in the end. Lastly, I'm going to go ahead and add that last sleeve on there. Like I said, I still did the templates. I went ahead and aligned these properly and then went ahead and did needles all the way around in the entire circle. Don't accidentally do the needle all the way through all of the layers because remember, you're still doing a circle, so you don't want to close your sleeve shut. I don't know how many times I have to mention that, but it is a possibility that one might accidentally close your sleeve shut, so just warning. I did the same process here. I kind of through the inside though, the neck portion, I slipped in the sleeve and then I went ahead and started stitching. So just be very patient. If you're working with elastic, patience is going to be your best friend. After this though, that was pretty much what we worked on in this video, is the sleeves and that collar portion. We'll see how it looks. I hope y'all like it because I think I had lost a little bit of weight here. So I've lost a little bit, so it looks pretty good. I want to try it on with the tights and the shoes, and I really digged how it came out. But this is what we got so far. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I can't wait to bring more progress to y'all. This is pretty much the suit though. The suit is pretty much about done. But yeah, this is it besides the little patch that I'm going to need to find, the Dino charge patch, or need to make it out of EVA foam. We will see what I decide to do with that. But I will see y'all in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye everyone.